If they are driving that car, they are idiots. I highly doubt they're actually in that car. Highly doubt it. That car is probably somewhere in a lake somewhere. She probably even bought that car to throw him off. What's going on, YouTube? This is Mr. Fugitive. You know me, Mr. Fugitive. I was on the run for 15 years, and while I was on the run, what did I do? I didn't cause more trouble. I actually went out and got jobs, and then after I got jobs, I went to school, I graduated, got a degree, and then after that, I went and started some businesses and started hiring people to create jobs in my community. I did great. I turned myself in. I gave me probation. I completed my probation. Everything's taken care of. I'm a free man. It feels good. But today, what we're going to do, well, first of all, if you want to know more about my story, I told my whole story. There's some interviews online. Check out the Matt Cox interview, the Crime and Entertainment. I also told my first story in my first, I think, 3 YouTube episodes. But what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about Casey White and Vicky White. If you don't know, these two are fugitives that are on the run from the law right now out of Alabama. One was an inmate in a county jail, and the other one that was a sheriff for 25 years, and she helped him escape. Yeah, you heard me right. A sheriff for 25 years helped him escape. We're going to get into it. We're probably going to talk about where they could be headed because, hey, I was around for 15 years, so I consider myself a pro. I did it a long time, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. I know I had to, I should say, watch my tracks and figure out where to go and be one step ahead. So we're going to take a little clip at what they're talking about, the last news clip. Now, I didn't watch this, so let's see what they have to say off their details, and we're going to go from there.
For Vicky White and Casey White, almost a week old now, authorities are still trying to find out where they went after escaping the Lauderdale County Jail.
News 19's Addison Willman has a closer look at how investigators believe Vicky White executed that escape. Addison live outside the Lauderdale County Courthouse tonight with more. Addison.
Emily, Sheriff Rick Singleton tells us that the day before Vicky White helped Casey White escape from the Lauderdale County Jail, she checked into a hotel near Florence Boulevard. We now know that that hotel is within walking distance of the parking lot where they eventually left Vicky's patrol car and seemingly vanished into thin air.
This is just based on strictly my own opinion. I think she just didn't want to have to face her mother that morning, knowing that she was going to leave.
The day before the escape, Vicky White checked into this hotel near Florence Boulevard.
Quality Inn,
the next morning, she
home of the
escorted
prostitutes
inmate
in
Casey
some
White to her
places.
patrol car. 8 minutes later, at 9:49, surveillance footage shows Vicky's car turning onto Cox Creek Parkway from Huntsville Road, where they would eventually abandon the vehicle. Sheriff Singleton says that this is the parking lot where the two subjects dropped off Vicky's patrol car, only about a half a mile away from the hotel that she stayed in the night before.
All right, so this is the parking lot where they abandoned the vehicle. So the one thing that I'm looking at that I noticed, actually, I'm going to look at the bigger screen real quick. I do not see any cameras on those poles. It's just lights. And those poles, the lights aren't really that bright. But I really don't see a lot of cameras. Matter of fact, the store that's right behind them, if you look right to behind them, like, you know, I guess it would be to our right, you don't see any building, no signs on top of the building. So it looks like that building is abandoned or there's no retail stores, which means there's probably no cameras right there that's running. So if that's where they left the vehicle, I mean, just this tells me right here that she already scoped this place out. She already knew what she was doing. She scoped it out. She's a cop. She was a cop for 25 years. Not only was she a cop for 25 years, she knows what police thinks. She knows this area. This area is very small. It's in Alabama. I mean, come on now. It can't be too big, you know. So I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing. So that tells me right there that, hey, she is on the path of knowing what the hell is going on.
The U.S. Marshal Service said that after Vicky and Casey left this area, they were last seen in Rogersville later that day. However, in another interview with Sheriff Singleton, he says that local authorities have been unable to verify that.
I don't know that they were spotted in Rogersville on Friday. My understanding is that the vehicle seen in Rogersville prior to Friday.
Regardless of the
This
reports
remind me
on
of something like
Friday,
Andy
Singleton says
Griffith.
that he no longer believes that the two subjects are in the area.
I don't think they're local. You know, of course, they could be right now.
All right. So, I'm sorry, but that was just a dumb question. They are obviously not local. Who is going to stay in that little small town? First of all, I don't know if you know this, that guy's 6'9". You will notice him anywhere he's at. Even in New York City, you're going to notice him. Not only that, Vicky has been in that town for 25 years or such. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows her. They're not staying. Come on now.
On the street. You know how that is. If I knew where they were at, that's where we would be. But my gut feeling is that they're out of this area.
I'll have more information on the status of the manhunt and what that investigation looks like more at 6:30. For now, though, live in Lauderdale County, Addison Woman.
All right, so this is what I think. Let's get to this. Let's put on the detective hat for a minute, right? And if I was them, this is what I would have done. Now check this out. Go to a map. Do me a favor. Go to a map and look up Florence, Alabama. I think the name of the jail was like what was it? Lauderdale County Jail or whatever. You're gonna notice that this jail, the way it's situated, it's in northern Alabama, right before the Tennessee borderline. So, some people are going to see this and they're going to say, well, obviously they probably went up north to go to Tennessee so they can get out of state, get out of the area. You know, which could be true. If you go out, you go to a different state, you know, it takes I should say, the authorities longer to spread the news around that, hey, we're looking for these people. It's the way it is. It's going to take a little longer, you know. So they could have went up there. I'm not saying they didn't. Now, you're not going to stay in Tennessee. What would you do in Tennessee? You gonna stay? I mean, there's mountains there. They could have went to a mountains. I mean, they could have done that. They could have log cabin somewhere and just camp out in the mountains the rest of their life. What about food? What about anything else? What they're gonna plant gardens? So, or they can keep going. Now, if you go up, I think 2 more other states, then you run into pretty much Canada. Now they can be crossing the border and going into Canada. They could be doing that. I mean, hey, look at what I did, right? So she was a cop in the jail. Now, she was in there for 25 years, so she could have ran into all kind of people. Think about all the inmates she's probably ran into. Inmates who have done this, inmates who have done that, inmates who've made counterfeit money, inmates who've made counterfeit paperwork, driver's license, passports. You don't know who this woman knows and has in her back pocket, right? We don't know. So she could have got new passports made for her and moved out of country and went up north. Now, they are saying that she had a 6-hour head start. So she did have enough time, definitely enough time to get into Tennessee, because I believe, I'm not familiar with that area, but it looks like it's maybe an hour away, if that, to Tennessee borderline, probably even closer. So she probably could have went to Tennessee and even above to the next day after that with 6-hour head start. And then going on her way to the border. Now, I'm pretty sure they would have alerted the authorities at the border, though, to look out for a 6'9" man and this other woman. Now, another thing is there's also water up there, you know, the Michigan water. They could be crossing the border through the water. Nothing to get on the boat and cross that, you know, the water, the stream is not that big. And it's not that cold right now. Now, here's another thing, though, too. Look at the map. 6-hour head start. What if they would have went south? What is south of Alabama? The Gulf of Mexico. Let's put some pieces together. I think it was a month before this happened, she sold her house for like about 100 grand or so, they said. That's what they say, right? So she's got 100 grand cash in her pocket. They could have easily drove south to the Gulf of Mexico. 6 hours gives them plenty enough time to drive to the south of Mexico. She could have bought some boat. Not only could have bought a boat, she could know somebody with a boat and could be paying them, hey, take this 15, 10, 20 grand, whatever, and take us to Mexico. take us to El Salvador, take us to one of these places, take us to Belize. I believe Belize has no extradition, and it's down there. She's got the money. Think about this. I think it's $50,000 USD. If in Mexico and pesos is $1 million. You're a millionaire with $50,000. She's got 100 grand. She can do a lot of things. So that would have been, the route I would have took. That would have been what I would have did. Now, another thing is, I believe that she was planning this out for a long time. She was planning this out. Trust me, she had to be. Like I said, when I paused it and they were in that parking lot, she knew exactly what she was doing. Another things they're saying that she bought some bright orange, like that rust color Ford Edge, and she could be driving that car. If they are driving that car, they are idiots. I highly doubt they're actually in that car. Highly, highly doubt it. That car is probably somewhere in a lake somewhere. She probably even bought that car to throw him off. I would not, rule that out, because why would you buy a bright orange? It makes no sense. Why would you even be in a car? People are looking for. You're all over the news. I wouldn't even be in the car. First of all, boat is the logical reason, and they're right there by the water. Now, let's see where they find them at. Let's see if I'm right. If I'm right, if you think I make sense, let me know. Subscribe, comment. Another thing is, I'm actually going to be giving you interviews. I'm going to be interviewing people who have interesting stories. If you got a story about going to jail, you got a story about you're in trouble, even if you're on the run right now. You were a drug addict, whatever it is, let me know. Leave a comment, hit me up. We're gonna try and get you on and get some interviews going. Let these people, let you people actually get your voice heard. So let's talk about it. Drop a comment, subscribe, continue for more. We're gonna talk more things on this channel. Hit me up, Fugitive TV. I'm out.